Why did you partner together on the issue of Ukrainian children who have been abducted?
Ladies first.
Okay.
So Lindsey and I actually have worked together on Ukraine issues for a long time. My first trip to Ukraine was with John McCain and Lindsey Graham, and that was after the first invasion. And from the very beginning, Lindsey has stood up on New Year's Eve in the middle of a blizzard with John McCain, and we were in the Donbass region. We were there for a number of days. And through thick or thin, he has stood with the Ukrainians. And I've always really admired him for that. And the fact that we've been able to make this a bipartisan issue has been really important through two different administrations. So the kids, I'm a former prosecutor and a mom. And to me, the fact that you have thousands and thousands of kids that were stolen and taken away from either their families or an orphanage, a number of the ones that I met recently in Rome, when the Pope took a visit with us and with the kids, was about actually teenagers who were taken when their mom was killed, another was just taken from a school, and they have the wherewithal, because they're teenagers, to get a phone from someone, and they're able to call their grandma in one case, and she was with us, and they were able to get them out. And the Vatican's been really involved in negotiating a number of kids' release. But the fact that Putin thinks it's okay to take kids out of orphanages and away from their families just shows the evil we're dealing with and why it is so important for us to stand with Ukraine, this sovereign state that has taken all the bloodshed and basically stopped Putin from marching right through Ukraine to other allies, NATO countries.
Yeah, so number one, I found out about this issue through her. She had a resolution, I think, basically a Senate resolution condemning Putin for, taking 19,000 plus kids out of occupied territories, sending them to Russia, and trying to turn them into Russians. I didn't really know anything about it, and I talked to Amy and a few others, and I said, when you list the bad things of this war, the list is long, I'd put this near the top. I mean, for any century, this is an outrage. Most people don't know that in the occupied territories of Ukraine, the Russians have separated Ukrainian children from their families, sent them back to Russia, put them in re-education camps, sent them to the front lines to fight for Russia and their Ukrainian kids, trying to wipe out their identity as Ukrainians. And I want the world to know about it. There cannot be a just end to this war until these kids are accounted for.
The issue of kids is something you two have partnered on a lot, even when it comes to tech, right? The only issues I feel like where there's any bipartisanship now is tech and Ukraine. That's what it feels like.
There's some, but those are two big ones. Those are two good ones.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of areas of disagreement. I mean, Americans think that there's just so much stalemate in both parties. They don't trust Congress. They don't trust the media either. But how do you rebuild that trust?
So I just figure courage is not just standing by yourself giving a speech to an empty Senate chamber, but courage is whether or not you're willing to stand with someone you don't always agree with for the betterment of this country. And to me, that tech issue is literally the interests have pushed so hard that nothing has really passed, not a privacy law, not any kind of liability when it comes to getting kids hooked on drugs or seeing pornography. And Senator Cruz and I did pass in one bill this year with the president's support that they have to take down non-consensual porn. And that is within 48 hours. But that's really the first one that's passed. And so Senator Graham is thinking big on this from the beginning, has said they have to be responsible. And I've joined him in those efforts.
Yes, she did. And, we're taking on the biggest companies in the history of the world. These companies make a gob of money through advertising. The more eyeballs, the more money they charge for ads. There was a time when we needed to make sure the Internet would be up and running and flourish. Al Gore invented it. We want to make sure it worked well. Well, we've come to the point now where the dark side has to be dealt with.
What is the mood like? I mean, you've both been here for a while. Is there just as much vitriol behind the scenes as it appears to be online and on television?
If you know Amy, she's very determined. She's she embraces her causes, and I like, whether I agree with her cause or not, I like people who are passionate about what they do. She's determined, and I'm determined too, to hold Putin accountable for kidnapping 20,000 children. And when he says he hadn't, he's a liar. And we can't end this war with this unaccounted for, because it'll happen again and again when it comes to social media. Every parent out there, grandparent, you know what we're talking about. I mean, she cares, I care, all of us care, but why a few people? A lot of people in politics now are new, and the reward for solving problems is a lot less than for yelling. Yeah. And I don't want to just be up here yelling all my life. I'd like to solve problems that matter to people. And you'll find out pretty quick in both caucuses who you can go to if you need to get something done that makes sense. And Amy is on top of the list. If you can convince her this is just cause, she'll jump in. I'd like to be considered somebody that if you can convince me it makes sense, I want to get outcomes. And I can't think of a better use of my time or her time than give relief to parents and grandparents suffering from their children and grandchildren having their lives turned up down by social media. I can't think of a better cause than trying to get 20,000 kids back with their family.
So is that pool of lawmakers that Senator Graham was just talking about, is it growing or is it shrinking?
It depends on different issues.
That's right. Surprising
people will work together. Yeah. It happens all the time. You know, Rand Paul's been working on the tariffs. Like there are an interesting group.
Yeah. No more interesting person than Rand Paul.
Okay, so people
I'm not working with him on tariffs.
All right. People have worked across the aisle on different things. So I hope it's increasing. And I will say, you know, when you asked about what it's like, people behind closed doors do have cordial relationships in the Senate. There's only 100 of us. And it's part of it is, you know, it's one thing to work together, but then, you know, don't go stab someone behind their back. If you just agree with them on something, fine. Or don't go trash them personally. You might disagree with their view, but it can get, when it gets like that. So that's for me one of the lines in the sand. And I actually like to get things done. I figure my constituents sent me to Washington to try to get something done, not to fight all the time.
But things do get personal. I mean, you're very good friends with the president.
Yeah.
You know that he makes some statements maybe you don't even endorse, but he does get personal. Does it make it harder to work with people in his party, given...
Yeah, he's Trump. And he's going to be Trump. But, you know, I think he'll, Melania's been great, right? She's shown the light on it. I think President Trump would probably cheerlead this stuff, and you know, we need to give him a product that's bipartisan. Go sit out and Mr. President, you got a chance. If you get behind this, we can get it through the House.
I think it's made it harder to get things done overall, but it hasn't changed my relationship with people in the Senate.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.